Alrighty, friends, we are back for episode 2 of The Penguin, and what a fun experience it is for the week to go from shows like Agatha All Along that is bright and bubbly and fun and very in your face with this energy, and then going to something like The Penguin where it is very dark and mysterious and eerie. I often have to find myself turning up the brightness. It's like we're watching Game of Thrones again because it has that dark elegance to it. And it's just so unique, this experience we get going from one show to another. But I love where we are in The Penguin. I will say, when I first started watching this show, I didn't think that it was for me. I love DC, I love comics, and I love learning about all of these new elements. And I, myself, when it comes to comic book shows, I am a researcher and I'm a digger. If you find these little Easter eggs, or if I hear about little Easter eggs, I am digging through the comics. I love that exploration. But The Penguin is really unique in that, yes, it is taking little tidbits here and there from the comics or from the characters, but it really is building its own unique story. We haven't really had a lot of stage presence from the Penguin. Obviously, we did have the Jack Nicholson, we had the CW show. We saw a little bit of Oswald Cobblepot's origin story, and I did find that Oswald to be very unique and charming, but he was a little more comical. I find this one, the Colin Farrell, to be so real. It's real in so many different aspects, and I talked about it I talked about it when I was talking about the episode 1 Penguin, but it's just a genuine humanity to these characters that makes it all the more scary and fearful. From Sophia's character to Victor's to Oswald's, and really even the Falcones, but the way that they are fighting each other, we're really seeing how this monolith is crumbling from within by individuals, by very real people. But let's break down episode 2. So we are now at the funeral of Alberto Falcone, and what a beautiful experience to see this monolith crumbling from within. We can see Oswald really manipulating the situation, and it's so fun to see this foil or these mirror images between Sophia and Oswald, who are these broken characters that honestly no one really expected much of. I mean, I don't know how Sophia, or at least Sophia in this world, was, but it seems like she's incredibly intelligent and has worth and value, but it does feel like the Falcones put all of their stock into Alberto and aren't even considering Sophia, whether it be because of the hangman situation or because she's a female. I don't really know where it falls into. It could be that it is more of a patriarchal society within the Falcones, and Sophia may have had other adventures or ventures for her. But it does feel like Sophia was never in consideration for leading this family, and so she got to quietly observe and learn and really craft who she was to this family in secret. And now that it seems like the family is struggling to even survive. I mean, they still are the pillars of Gotham crime family. The Maronis are still in jail, at least the head of the Maronis are still in jail. But it's just interesting to see how both of them, Oswald and Sophia, are able to manipulate the situation because people don't think much of them. So we don't care about them. We don't see them, and it goes back to that first episode when Sophia was hugging Oswald and she says in his ear, like, I always knew you had it in you, because not only does she know that Oswald is a creepy, manipulative, and smarter than he appears to be, but that's her. She also was speaking to herself in that moment because she knows, because she is capable, and she knows how easy it is for her to manipulate the situation and to sidewind and to see, it's the fly on the wall. You get to observe and really attack when you can. I guess it's more a viper, it's a viper in the grass. You're hidden until it's time to strike. I think a fly is a little bit softer than what these two are. And we can see that when Oswald is on the truck and, he's forced to be on there because, yes, he still is the meat character. And so he has to kind of play the long game. He has to play this small, manipulative little fox, I guess. But he's got to play the gremlin. And so he's forced to get on this truck that he knows is compromised because he is the snake, he's the rat. And the second that everything kind of switches and turns, he's got to, take out the people that know he's the rat. But it's so interesting to see how both of them manipulate the situation. Obviously, Sophia has a little bit more that she's working with because her goals are different than Oswald's are. Obviously, Sophia's goals are different than Oswald's are. She just wants to figure out what happened to her brother, and she wants to make sure that her family stays on top, and she's going to do whatever she can to make sure that happens. And she knows from the get-go she knows that she's got to find the rat within the system. She's got to find the weak link in the chain. Sophia knows she's got to find the weak link in the chain, and that is her prime derivative. And obviously Oswald knows that it's him, and he knows that she's looking for someone. And it's great that he's got her on this Maroni mindset, but it's fun. This episode was really fun because you got to see really how the writers, how the directors, how the actors, and how the storyboarders are playing this game of cat and mouse, and you feel that in this. It felt more like a chess game, and you see that in this episode, how we're able to manipulate one piece, or maybe it's even a game of Jenga. There's so many different games that you could say this is, but you know, it's taking that block and placing it, all the while the Falcone foundation is crumbling, and you see that, you know, as we're pulling one of these Jenga pieces that the Falcone thinks is the right move, the foundation of the Falcones is slowly breaking, and it's going to be so interesting to see who picks up the pieces after this episode. You know, is it going to be Sophia who reigns on top with a manipulated Oswald? You know, it could be that somewhere down the line, Oswald does something right to where, yes, Sophia is on top, but now he is her right hand man, and now it's even closer that he gets to be able to manipulate the faculties that are the Falcones. Or, you know, is it that Sophia is left with a crumbled empire, and now Oswald is at the top, and she's got to now work her way back up? I feel like either way that we push this system, it's going to be so fun to see where it lands by the end of this. And of course, you still got Oswald's relationship with Victor, and gosh, I feel like Victor really is us in this situation. If there was ever a POV that was us as audience members, it's got to be Victor, because he's thrust into this world and unfortunately has no choice but to continue on the ride. And we can see now, for the first time, not really for the first time, I say that and I immediately take it back, because it is every choice that Victor makes, we are immediately seeing the negative outcome of it. We're seeing him get shot at. We're seeing him put in really dangerous situations where it is life or death. Every choice that Oswald puts Victor into, it really is life or death. But at the same time, you can see how addictive this life is, and how, whether it be a Stockholm Syndrome kind of situation where you just have to ride the ride till the wheels fall off, or it's a grander or more grandiose situation where you find yourself addicted to that adrenaline and that speed and that possibility of what life could be. It's just kind of, I don't know, sad. It's endearing, it's sad, it's just what it is. You know, we see this symbiotic relationship happening between Oswald and Victor, and almost this parental role that Oswald is taking, but it's also forced upon him. No point is Oswald ever going to let Victor go, because now Victor has gotten himself too deep, but it was Oswald. Oswald, this father figure, has forced him into this life, and I don't know whether it's a matter of Oswald just needing someone innocent, like almost like a canary. I feel like Victor plays the canary in the cave, and he's the symbol by which we can see how far Oswald has gone. And so long as this canary is alive, Oswald is in check. But that is such a powerful role for Victor to be in, to be the compass or the conscience or the Jiminy Cricket of Oswald, this character who really wants so badly to have his desires that he'll do anything. And so I'm interested to see where Victor ends up, and if the canary gets sacrificed for what Oswald believes is the greater good. You know, this was such a powerful episode in the building blocks, or rather in the chess game that is the Penguin. And to see how both sides, how Sophia's side and Oswald's side are really playing against each other and with each other at a certain point. It's going to be really interesting to see where the chips fall and where all of these players end up. I'm excited for the Maronis to get more involved. Now that we keep hinting at the Maronis, and we have little scenes with them and them having their ring back, and now the Maronis, you know, it's very clear that the Falcones believe that the Maronis are the ones that killed Alberto. And so while they're very heavy on it, I really am excited for the head of the Maroni family to get out of Arkham and really put his foot forward in this whole battleground that is Gotham City, Undercity. Yeah, those are my thoughts. I guess it's more that I'm excited to see where this goes as the show progresses and to see where these characters end up. But let me know down below what you guys think and really what team you're rooting for. Obviously everyone is Team Oswald. It is the Penguin, so long as we're rooting for Oswald, the show is going on. But do you know, who are you excited for? Who do you want the crown at the end of this? Do you want the season to end with Oswald having the crown, or are you more Falcone, or are you more Maroney, or maybe a hidden character that hasn't been announced just yet? Who do you want to see have the crown at the end of the Penguin? Anyway, that's all I have for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you all for the next Penguin episode.